We have ourselves one of the closest championship battles in the non-playoff championship format history of the Cup Series, rolling in to 3 races left to go until we crown a champion. We are here at the last road course race of the season, the fastest road course race of the season, and the wildest road course race of the season. The Watkins Glen International. We skip the chicane, go through the boot, and we do it for 19 laps here in the Lake Effect Ice Cream 400K in the 2023 Wawa Cup Series. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Watkins Glen International. 3 races remain until we crown a champion on Labor Day weekend 2 weeks from now. And this championship battle is as close as it has been all season long. And what a race to bring to the table with this tight championship battle. The Watkins Glen International, such a race of attrition and pit strategy and speed. It's going to be a lot of fun. And who knows what this championship picture is going to look like at the end of this race here today. I'm Drew alongside, once again, Igor Barreto for the call of this race. And Igor, your driver, Drew Webb, grabbed the race victory last week in Indianapolis. A huge win for your team there in the Brickyard 400. He comes into this race 6 points behind, but he starts in the 10th position. What does he need to do here today to have another opportunity at getting that points lead going into Daytona next week?
My opinion, honestly, is just try to gain as much position as possible, maintaining the car clean, and probably having a good pit strategy. These are the main 3 points to have a great race or road course, and he's starting the top 10, so I think he's got a great shot of maybe not winning, but at least having a top 5 and maybe even taking a points lead back.
It's going to be very interesting to see if he can work his way through the field here. This is not a speedway. He's been very strong on the high-speed ovals this season. And while this is a high-speed course, it's still a lot different than pretty much any other track we go to on the circuit. And it's going to be fascinating to see if we see that speed out of Drew Webb here today. Another big factor, and in testing, we have seen a very interesting pit cycle here at the Watkins Glen International. It's roughly about a 9-lap fuel run here, and this is a 19-lap race, so these drivers will take it to lap 9 roughly for the first cycle, and then in that second stint, we might see some guys split that stint, and some guys go the whole way to the end. So the pit strategy is going to be right on the edge of the end of this race, and it is going to be incredibly fascinating to see who ends up having the right strategy. Couple that with the fact that this is Watkins Glen, it is always a race of attrition. The exit of turn 11, the final corner, one of the most infamous corners in the entire circuit here on the channel. We already saw it come into effect at the Sprint Series race on Wednesday. Skylar Taylor, coming to the white flag, was about to get the white flag in that race, overshot the exit of turn 11, and Philip Torres came through to get the race victory. We may see something like that here today. We've seen this race in particular have a last corner pass at least twice before. I remember Blaine Keys and Luke Rainey having a battle, and Luke Rainey got it on Blaine Keys, and then 3 years ago, Shane Lake doing it to Matt Dallio off the exit of turn 11. And my goodness, with what we've seen so far this season in the Wawa Cup Series, we could absolutely see it here today. In the point standings, this is huge right here. Braden Perez comes in the points leader. He's got 6 points on Drew Webb. But Perez starts 18th here today at Watkins Glen. Now, we saw in the IndyCar races, these drivers have been able to move up through the field, so it's not the worst place to start for him. But he's 10th of the 12 chase drivers here at Watkins Glen. Drew Webb, 6 points behind, starts in the 10th position here today. And then Nicholas Sambadio and Matt Tuck, they are tied for third, both 8 points behind. Matt Tuck starts 4th. That is huge for that team at Grattan Autosport. They could leave this race the points leader. Nicholas Sambadio starts 15th here today. Not a bad starting position, but he's got a little work to do in that 59. 13 points behind is Thomas Troxel. Troxel starts 19th here today. Not the best starting position for him either. And then you got Travis Crampton starting in the 3rd position here, 38 points behind. Our pole sitter, Chase Buck, is 46 points behind. Ludovic Charette is 51 points behind. He is unfortunately starting in 40th. And LJ Semedo starts 9th. He's 64 points behind. Seth Cole is 82 behind. He starts in the 17th position. Aliera is 91 behind. She starts 8th here today. And then Dylan Matthews 106 behind. She starts in 16th. We're going to go ahead and get these guys to roll off here from the Watkins Glen International. 19 laps, 2 cycles of pit stops, no cautions. Even with all the attrition that we see here at the Watkins Glen International, no cautions on the road courses, and it's Chase Buck in the 32 who's going to lead us to the green flag alongside our last road course winner of Justin Zeidel. A huge opportunity for Justin there on that outside lane to start this race. Travis Crampton and Matt Tuck. What an opportunity for Matt Tuck to possibly take the points lead going into Daytona next week. He could have a great opportunity, his 2nd win of the season here today. A couple of non-chasers, Roberto Crown Jr. and Brian Webb in row number 3. Logan Williams starts to the inside of Aliera. And then your 2 drivers, Igor, LJ Semedo, and Drew Webb round out the top 10. Dylan Matthews and Nicholas Samedeo there make up row number 8, Braden Perez and Seth Cole make up row number 9, and Thomas Troxel there in the 10th row, starting 19th, with Ludovic Charette starting all the way in the back of the field in 40th. Well, Igor, you've seen all these races so far this season and called quite a few of them with me. Who do you think's going to get the race victory in the last road course race of the season here in the Wawa Cup Series?
Honestly, I believe up to this point in the chase, I believe only chase drivers have won in the chase. So I'm going for a non-chase driver. I'm going for the guy starting 2nd, Justin Zeidel. Might get his 2nd world course win this season.
Not a bad pick at all there. Of course, Zeidel, very strong at Road America about 10 weeks ago when he grabbed that race victory ahead of Brian Webb. Watch out for Brian Webb as well. Of course, Team Williams as a whole looking strong. Their driver, Braden Perez, our points leader. He starts, though, deep in the field midway through. It's going to be fascinating to see what he does. It's going to be fascinating to see how all the chase drivers do. Will any of the chase drivers run into attrition here today, run into that outside wall of the exit of turn 11? It is anybody's guess, and this race is going to be huge. Such a wild card event this week. We got a wild card event next week, and it's anybody's guess on who's going to win this Wawa Cup Series championship. But the pace car's going to pull down. We're going to find out in 19 laps who is going to get this championship lead at the end of 28 races. Chase Buck, he's going to lead us to the green flag. He's 46 behind. He still has a shot. We'll see if he gets his 3rd win of the season. Here we go. We're green flag racing in the Lake Effect Ice Cream 400K at Watkins Glen. And what a jump there out of Chase Buck from the inside lane. Was able to clear the field going into turn 1 and had no issue once he reached turn 1. He's the race leader. Justin Zeidel, Matt Tuck, Travis Crampton, and Brian Webb. The top 5. Drew Webb right in there. Roughly in around the same position he started in. Battling with his teammate of LJ Semedo there for the 9th position. But Chase Buck looking to get his 3rd win of the season. Currently leads the field as Matt Tuck knows he has a huge opportunity at taking the points lead here today. Going to try to get around his teammate here for that 2nd position. And look at that.
Yeah. Ooh, nice move by Tuck. Going to turn 9, I believe. And might be some team orders here, I think. Maybe Zeidel could let Tuck through if Tuck is right behind him, since Tuck's battling for the championship. But Tuck on the outside of turn 11.
Gotta be
close,
careful
but
there.
no. Yeah.
Drew Webb slipped up just a little bit there on that lap. I'm not sure if he got into the wall or not. Skylar Taylor got around him. Dylan Matthews and Fisher G. And I know you're not liking this. I don't think he got any damage. He just got a little loose off the corner right there. And this is not quite the position we expected Drew Webb to be in when he was coming to the checkered flag in that Culver's 400 a couple weeks ago. But now, currently running 11th, he is ahead of our points leader, Braden Perez. However, Matt Tuck in the 54 running 3rd right now currently holds on to the points lead as they run. How about that for this team? Matt Tuck has been so consistent during this chase. He, along with Sam Medeo, I feel like have been two of the better drivers in terms of just consistency. Neither driver has gotten a win during the chase, but Matt Tuck, New York native, looking to get this race victory here. But Chase Buck might have something else to say about that. And we've seen a couple of the races this season when Chase Buck started on the pole and pretty much led every single lap to go to victory lane. Those were the short tracks. This is a much different type of racetrack here today. But Chase Buck looking pretty strong right now here on lap number 2.
Yeah, Chase Buck definitely finding something on both short tracks and road courses. And honestly, I don't think he'll go flag to flag once again, like he did on his short track wins, but he seems to be in great contention for this win. And I don't think he'll be battling for the championship going to Darlington, but he definitely will close on the leaders. Close again by Matt Tuck. I think he's risking a little bit too much right now. He's still only on
these
the
guys
race.
are losing time to Chase Buck, and I think Matt Tuck sees that. He knows he has an opportunity at this win. He wants to get around his teammate. In the process of that, Travis Crampton is going to get to the inside of Tuck, and they're going to be side by side up the S's. And look at that lead Chase Buck has now, 1.6 seconds on the field. Crampton unable to get around Matt Tuck. Now, unlike in the IndyCar Series, these guys don't have near the grip those guys do, so it's a bit harder for these guys to pass around this place than it is in the IndyCar machines. But nonetheless, we've had a clean race so far. All 40 drivers still on the racetrack and on the lead lap, so that's a good thing to see. But I don't know if we're going to see all 40 drivers finish the race here today. Matt Tuck continuing to hound down this 51. He's just not been able to find the gap on his teammate to get around him for second.
Yeah, and honestly, like you said, compared to the Indies, Watkins Glen is a much harder track for the Cup cars. Like, especially with way less grip and about the same amount of power, it's a really hard track, and especially turn 11 is pretty treacherous. I know because I ran some seasons. There's even one race in the IndyCar series in Watkins Glen, so yeah, even for Indy it's a pretty tough track. So for Cup, you have to be really cautious to not crash, especially at turn 11.
Like I mentioned, we saw that happen in the Sprint Series race. It was this guy right here, Skylar Taylor. She got up into that outside groove and gave the win over the Philip Torres, but how about them? They are running in the top 10 right now here as, didn't know you didn't want to see that. Semedo just barely tapped in. Here's another thing to consider as well. Once we get to the cycle of pit stops, these guys are going to have to repair the damage to their cars if there is any, and if you gain too much there off the exit, you're going to have a slow stop, and that could cost you the race victory. Drew Webb, that's tight there with Skylar Taylor. He is 11th right now. A couple of guys who have struggled in this race. Nicholas Samedeo and our points leader, Braden Perez, still in 18th. Of course, we're only on lap 4 of this race, but Perez has gotten into that outside wall. He's got some damage, and that is not good at all for our points leader. Thomas Troxel also back here with these guys as well. Not a good run for any of these drivers considering Matt Tuck's success right now. Matt Tuck really in a great position right now, and he's got to recognize, a podium finish could give him an opportunity at this title. He could go into Daytona the points leader, and that is huge because Daytona is an absolute wild card, no doubt about it. Matt Tuck might have a great opportunity at being the points leader considering that Drew Webb is where he is right now. Dylan Matthews not able to be passed by Drew Webb, and Echo Evans Ross, winner of the first 2 road courses this season, all over the back bumper of the 99. Drew Webb's actually now down in 12th as Skylar Taylor off the course, and Matthews might get another one right here.
Yeah, Memphis, really good run right now. Passed well earlier in the lap. We didn't see the pass, but obviously great run. And now trying on Skylar Taylor. And gotta mention Skylar as well. Just like, who was it in the Avery Alford? Who did really well. And Skylar Taylor is once again having a great result for the Sprint Series drivers.
And
no
doubt about
just
it.
showing that even
Yeah,
though
you're
they
right.
don't,
You're right. Yeah, Alford did actually finish top, or was close to finishing top 10 in the Brickyard 400 last week. Driving there for Appalachian Motorsports. He didn't make it into this race, but Skylar did. Sam and Oskin made it into this race. Let's see, an F75, of course, won Dover in this exact ride, currently running 24th right now. I'm intrigued. Oh no! Perez and Troxel almost got into each other and took each other out there. That was so close there off the exit of the S's. Oh my goodness! And you see the damage on Perez, but that would have ended it. That would have ended it for Perez if that happened right there. Thankfully, Troxel got out of it, and no wreck ensued. But these guys, they got to be frustrated running 17th through 19th right now because they know Drew Webb's ahead of them, and I know Drew Webb's only a few positions ahead of him, but he's still ahead of all those guys in the championship standings except for Perez. Perez would actually be tied with Drew Webb in the standings, and then you'd have Matt Tuck taking the points lead the way they currently run. But that could have been disastrous right there, as I think Christian Vargas had an issue. He had an issue in the IndyCar race on Tuesday, the first of the duel. But other than that, it's been a clean race. I have to give these guys a lot of credit, but we're far from over in this one. A 19-lapper, the longest race we've ever done here for the Cup Series, and 2 cycles of pit stops still left to go here in this Lake Effect Ice Cream 400K. Zidell, a little wide. Nothing major there, but Matt Tuck and Crampton might get a run here, and we still got ourselves a battle for the second position.
Yeah, Matt Tuck might go for the move, but...
Oh, he's going to push his teammate up. Like, oh no! Oh no! He got into his teammate off the exit of turn 1! And Matt Tuck's out of the race, and the track is essentially blocked here off the exit of turn 1, and Drew Webb's getting caught up here, and all these guys trying to avoid it. What in the world was that? Drew Webb has damage in the 99. Zidell, oh man, and they continue to spin back in there. That's Seth Cole in the 82. Sam Medeo lost a bunch of ground, and more contact as Dylan, or should I say Daniel Paulus Jr. gets spun around there. That is absolutely unbelievable. The teammates got into each other off the exit of turn number 1. Justin Zidell and Matt Tuck. And so many chasers have damage from this as well. Sam Medeo's off the pace. Oh, brother. Wow. Wow. Sameto, Yera, and Matt Tuck, they're all out. Chase Buck, Travis Crampton clear, and then you got Brian Webb and Roberto Crown Jr. Drew Webb still out there. He's got a little bit of damage. Man, we were talking that this race would have a lot of attrition. That was completely out of left field. And now we have ourselves an entirely different championship picture. You know, Drew Webb still got a ton of damage here. I don't know if he's going to be able to continue or not. I don't think he's got a lot of front-end damage. But the track was essentially blocked there off the exit of turn 1. And Matt Tuck got taken out by his teammate. That is absolutely unbelievable.
Honestly, I just gotta say this. If it wasn't for so many drivers being involved, I would say Travis Crampton might be in this championship right now. He avoided the wreck, and all of the top 5 got involved. The one I saw, the one who hit Drew Webb in the back was Thomas Troxel. So Troxel also has a lot of damage. Braden Perez was also involved. So honestly, all the top 5, Samedi was in the back. So this championship might be a top 6 even right now.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows what it's going to look like? Samedi, I mean, I don't think Samedi has any damage. I think he just had to slow down and check up for it. So, I mean, this thing is far from over. We still have our 2 pit stops left to go. And, you know, Drew Webb's obviously off the pace because of his damage, but he's still out there. Perez is still out there in the 23, albeit he is kind of at the back of this field now. He's got a little bit of damage there in the 23 machine. Running 24th at the moment. San Mateo is running 29th. Actually, maybe a little bit higher. Troxel also gained quite a bit there. He's 12th. But he's also got damage. And realistically, you mentioned Travis Crampton. He's really the only guy who's within any reasonable range who got out of that one all right. Oh my goodness, I can't believe what we just saw right there. And Chase Buck's in the outside wall. Crampton a little wide there as well. And Logan Williams out of the race. Fisher G as well. Daniel Paulus Jr. We'll go over and we'll review that accident at the end. But you obviously have seen enough replays in the corner of your screen. Drew Webb in the 99 here. He's coming down the pit lane now. I'm wondering if there's too much damage on this machine. We're going to have to follow with him. I mean, so many issues for this 99 of Drew Webb this season in the chase, but every other time he hasn't had issues, he's gone to victory lane. This isn't going to be a win for him here at Watkins Glen. But with Matt Tuck getting out of the race there, that's one driver he doesn't really have to worry about at this point. But San Mateo and Perez are still out there. And Crampton might end up joining this fight in the championship. Same with Troxel. Matt Tuck is the driver who is going to lose out big time here today. Oh, man, I can't believe this season, guys. I just can't believe what we have seen so far this season. And, this has been such an up and down year for all these guys. Never have we seen a wreck like that here in this race before. And it has completely turned over this championship once again. And, oh, by the way, the next race is Daytona. So go figure.
Honestly, I'm just going to use my signature phrase. Not even Hollywood can make a script this crazy. Not even Hollywood. This is just, like, I have no words right now.
You've seen a lot of it, man. You've seen a lot of it. That right there, I mean, just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, Matt Tuck gets taken out by his teammate. Now, Drew Webb, that was an extended stop on the 99, but he can still salvage something out of this. He is not out of this championship yet, especially if he can stay in this race. I will say San Mateo is up to pace, so watch out for that 59 because, a lot of these guys ahead of him might have damage. He might be able to still salvage a top 10 out of this one. And he may end up taking the points lead at the end of this race. Perez off the pace. Our points leader got caught up in that as well. It's anybody's guess at this point, as here we go for pit stops. I don't know if Chase Buck has come down. I don't think he has. He's still out there. He is down. So not an extended stop there. So Crampton going to come out right behind him. But they are going to be in the middle of lap traffic, or traffic in general at this point, because not everyone came down on this lap. Now, they're still going to have to come back down again. Like I said, a two-stop race for all these guys. We will see certain drivers split the strategy here. So keep that in mind. It could get a little interesting in terms of the pit cycle here at Watkins Glen. Chase Buck able to clear the 98 machine there. And San Mateo, you can see how close he is to Chase Buck without making his pit stop. I don't know how much he's going to gain here, but we're just going to have to wait and see how this all ends up shaking out. Our current race leader is, I believe, Dylan Matthews in the 47. I think she has yet to come down the pit lane. Daniel Paulus Jr., I think, also stayed... No, I think Daniel's a lap down. Daniel Paulus Jr. is a lap down, and Brady Mardi Gras is the one who's second right now, but they're going to have to come down the pit lane right here. You got Tanner Parton and Eric Monaco. Sam and Oskin in the middle of all this. Philip Torres won the sprint race. Benny Moore's up here. Trinity Ida, Zachary Fitz. And how about Ludovic Charette here? He started dead last in this race. Of course, he's yet to make his pit stop, but, he avoided that one. He's got no damage, and we'll have to see what he can do. I'm intrigued to see what happened to San Mateo, because he didn't get any damage from the accident. But yet, here he is, a little bit off the pace. I'm wondering if he had to slow down and check up there. Dylan Matthews coming down the pit lane, and Mardi Gras on the rest of the field. And, Daniel Paulus Jr. He's got an issue there in the 44 machine after getting caught up in that accident. And here we go. This will be for the race lead now. Travis Crampton is going to hound down this 32 at some point. And I think Crampton's got the best car on the track. And what an opportunity for this 98 after finishing runner-up last week in the Brickyard 400. Crampton may find a way to steal this title. We're just going to have to see as this race plays out.
Yeah, exactly. This will be the battle for the win. So not only will we have to watch out how much Crampton closes in on Buck, but also the pit strategy for both. So that's going to be the battle for the win for this race. Also, better look if guys like Troxel, Perez, and Samario have also had an extended pit stop because that might shape the championship as well. Oh, Samario, no
Solid stop for
short pit
Samadeo.
stop.
You know who the
But
biggest
he's off
winner
the
of
pace,
all this
though.
is going to be? It's going to be Nicholas Samadeo because he did not get any damage from that wreck. And I'm wondering if he slowed down, let it happen in front of him, and here he is in a position now where I think he'll round out top 10, or close to it at least. And compared to a lot of the other Chase drivers, and especially Drew Webb, who's off the pace, he might be in one of the best positions. You know, Troxel's not looking too bad either. He's ahead of Drew Webb as well. That 99, because of his damage, just a little ways behind. And our points leader as well with issues in Braden Perez. And you add Matt Tuck into the mix. The best driver of the top 5 is Samadeo. And what a way to take the points lead if it in fact ends up this way. This could get so interesting going into Daytona. But, you know, Crampton's the other guy, too, because Crampton, I really feel like at this point, Crampton could win this race. Chase Buck again wide. And Crampton's going to continue to eat into that lead here. And I think next time by, Crampton's going to be the race leader.
Yeah, I know. Great battle. Just honestly, Crampton might get this win. I don't doubt him. He will fight for the championship.
Chase Buck, you know, this also kind of opens the door for him as well. You know, we really haven't been talking about Chase in this situation either. He's only 46 behind Braden Perez, and you know, Perez still in this race, but he's right now cycling in 29th, and I ain't gonna cut it, Chief. And Drew Webb is down in 32nd because of that, and you know, those are the top 2 guys in points. Matt Tuck is out of the race. Matt Tuck's going to finish in last, so he's going to fall back. That leaves Nicholas Samadeo, who's currently running 13th, and Thomas Tross, who's currently running 15th, who are going to overtake to the points lead. The next 2 drivers in line are Crampton and Chase Buck, who are 1-2 right now. So we're going to end up with a Samadeo, Troxel, Crampton, Buck battle, I think, going into Daytona. Which, who could have seen that coming? Samadeo and Troxel's not as much of a surprise, but Chase Buck and Crampton, they've been strong, but they haven't really been the favorites in this championship, and now they are in the best positions possible here at Watkins Glen, looking to get the momentum going into Daytona next week. You know, Daytona was the race I thought we would have the big one. We got it here, but we're going to have a great race here, as Chase Buck is going to... Oh, this is a very interesting strategy here for Chase Buck. This is early.
This is very early.
Very early for Chase Buck, but I'm wondering if he's trying to overcut this 98, knowing he's faster than him. Or should I say undercut? He's undercutting him right here. Roberto Crown Jr. Also on that same call. Now, they can make it from here to the end, but a very short second stint for those guys. And they're going to go from here to the end on this tank of fuel. So this is going to get really dicey here. Because I don't know how long Crampton and Brian Webb anticipate staying out. How about Brian Webb in all of this, too? Was runner-up at Road America, and now he's currently running runner-up here at Watkins Glen.
I think we always talk about Drew Webb this, Drew Webb that. We also have the other Webb, so honestly, it's great that he's also performing really well this race. So, honestly, I don't think Brian Webb might get this win, but definitely a podium is in the books for him. It's going to be him versus Crown Jr. for 3rd place, while Buck and Crampton will try to out-strategize one another for this battle for the win, honestly. But it's Crampton versus Buck in this race. And about the championship, you were mentioning, I don't think Perez and Webb will be that far away from the battle.
They'll still be a part of it. They'll still be a part of it, but they're you know, with so many other guys in the fray and going into Daytona. I mean, I think, you know, and I feel bad for you, Igor, because, you know, this is your driver here, Drew Webb. If New Hampshire and Michigan did not happen, you know, this would have been like, oh, you know, that's not good for him, but, you know, he's still the favorite. You know, now, because of what happened, especially at Michigan, you know, Drew Webb could not have afforded that. And, you know, another issue on this 99, and this is one of those things where it's just caught up at the wrong place at the wrong time. And, that's just a tough break for Drew Webb there, just considering how strong those guys have been. I didn't expect them to be strong here, in general. But definitely an interesting call right there.
Oh, Crampton.
And Crampton's down here, so, you know, he doesn't want Chase to get an advantage here. We're going to have some guys kind of stretch it. And we'll see as someone has hit the pit road wall. We saw that happen. Sam Medeo and Troxel also on this strategy. They know that they've got to do it. That was Laura Chung who hit the pit road wall right there. That's an issue that we saw a couple times in the IndyCar race yesterday. And here we go for Sam Medeo and Troxel. And these are two guys who are looking to get a good finish out of all this. And they're going to file in line right here. Ooh, we got to be close right there, but
yeah,
got to give both of these guys credit for keeping a clean head today after that wreck. They got out of it cleanly, and you know, they're going to salvage a lot. And for Sam Medeo's case, I think he'll take the points lead if things stay the way they are. But, you know, there is no certainty to anything in this series, as it's obviously been shown. I think Skylar Taylor is leading the race right now. Of course, they still have to come down for a second stop. Echo Evans-Ross is second now. Dylan Matthews is third. And Elijah Gordon is fourth. Brad Stover. How about Ludovic Charette? He started 40th. He's right now 6th. He has definitely done an excellent job moving through the field here today. Tanner Parton and Sam Oskin. And then Crampton and Tuck. Now this right here, Crampton and Buck, excuse me. That right there, Crampton able to get ahead of Chase Buck there. That could be for the win. But these guys are right in the middle of lap traffic. They got to be careful. Whoa, look at Chase
Crampton
there.
Ooh. Chase Buck risking everything and got the move into turn 11. Great move by Buck. Honestly, those guys just want to crash again at this point.
Yeah, oh my goodness. You know, this right here, we got to keep our eyes on this. You know, Echo Evans-Ross, currently the race leader. You know, these two guys, Crampton and Buck, know they're going to be going for it. They're good to go to the end of this race. They got to be careful not to wreck each other out. I mean, we already saw that between the two Grand Autosport guys. I can only imagine what Stewart's going through right now. That organization right there. I mean, both of those drivers had a chance of winning here today. But here we go. Crampton's going to look on Chase Buck here. Like I said, I think this 98 is faster than the 32. I really do. But Crampton,
yeah, I think,
just can't get around him.
Crampton's trying everything. It honestly feels like last week all over again. Just changing the guy who's in first. But Crampton will do everything to get this win at this point, and he might be able to get it, but even if he doesn't get it in the championship battle, it will be absolutely great for him.
And Crampton's going to put himself back in position if things stay the way they are right here to possibly win this title. His teammate there, Benny Moore, though, Sprint Series driver, battling with him. I'm sure Crampton's not happy about that. We've already seen what teammates can do to each other here today, so I'm sure Nathan's getting on the radio and telling Benny to, like, cool it down. Don't wreck our championship contender right there. See where Sam Medeo and Troxel are. Sam Medeo's quite a ways ahead of Troxel there, but Sam Medeo's still keeping a clean race. You got to give a lot of credit to Sam Medeo and Troxel in this one. They have done their job, all things considered. I think Perez still has to come down again. Obviously, he's been off the pace there. He's currently 21st. But a lot of these guys still have to come down for the second stop, but they're going to stretch it to the end. Chase Buck, though, has cleared Crampton and cleared him rather considerably. And this 32, you know, started on the pole, may, after all the craziness that we have seen here today at Watkins Glen, get this win. We'll have to see if that ends up being the case. Meanwhile, Echo Evans-Ross still out front. Now, she still has to come down the pit lane, but she's got 15 seconds on Chase Buck. There's no way she's going to be able to make that stop and beat out the 32, so they're kind of salvaging a good run here, so maybe some extra points to the back. Skylar Taylor, Sprint Series driver, you know, hey, they could end up winning the Sprint Series title, and they could be in a full-time ride next year, and what a run for them. And how about Dylan Matthews? She's 106 behind. She's dead last in this championship battle. She's had a solid run. And then the Andrews Racing teammates of Elijah Gordon, Ladovic are at the top 5. But all these guys, oh no, Ozkin!
Oh.
And just when you thought you seen it all, there's your engine failure. And Ozkin, now here's the fun fact about Ozkin in terms of the Wawa Cup Series. He actually had an opportunity at surpassing full-time driver Joey Hightower in the Cup Series points here today. I don't think that's going to happen, though, with this issue out of the 75. Tough break for Ozkin there.
Yeah, kind of sad to know the guy very well, so... And like we said previously, won a race earlier this year, was having another great race. Kind of sad to see him go and smoke like that, but that's part of racing.
And this race has just been such a race of attrition. I mean, there's just been no consistency to anything we've seen here today, except Chase Buck and Travis Crampton keeping a clean wheel. We got some guys coming down, Andrew Miller, Brad Stover. And hopefully Ozkin gets around, gets out of the way of his teammate here. Ooh, yeah, that 75 is going to hit that wall right there. That's one of the weird glitches of this track. Troxel's got to get around him here as well. They kind of think that's the apron, and the wall just sticks out right there. Master, though, he's not going to be happy with Ozkin after that. That's the mildest wreck we've seen here today, however. We're going to keep on focusing here on Chase Buck and Travis Grimm. Now, Benny Moore also has to come down. He's kind of splitting these guys right now, but when he comes down, that might give way to Crampton finding a way back around the 32. Or, what if Benny Moore tries to pass Chase Buck here? That could give Crampton an advantage, possibly. We know that these two guys are going to battle at it for the win. Who do you think is going to get it, man?
See, I was still betting on Buck, but if Benny Moore can get around Chase Buck, Travis Crampton will have a great shot at taking him, so we gotta watch out for this 96 car.
Look at that.
Honestly, he seems at the moment a little bit faster than both of these guys, so... And he's going for the move as well already.
There he goes. We'll see what these guys are doing up here. Echo Evans-Ross still leading the race. And Chase Buck, he's still under fire here, and he's going to be on that outside there through turn 10, and we've seen how that can be. But he's going to be able to clear that 96 machine. But that did bring Crampton in a little closer to the 32. Oh, Benny Moore's going to go wide. Crampton here, they've come close to that outside wall a few times. Here comes Echo Evans-Ross and Skylar Taylor and Elijah Gordon and Rogel Dorns around with Fitzy. Tough break right there for those guys. And these guys trying to pack it full of fuel. Of course, they might actually be repairing the damage. So significant damage on Echo Evans-Ross and Skylar Taylor there. And both Elijah Gordon and Ladovic are going to jump them. So now, our race leader is Dylan Matthews once again. This is the second time she's led here today. And by the way, we're 2 laps to go next time by. We're 3 laps to go in this race. And I tell you, this has been the most topsy-turvy race we've had all season. Oh, Sam Medio's got some damage now, but thankfully he does not have to come back down the pit lane again. You might want to let Troxel by, not battle with him too hard, and risk losing, you know, this solid position that he's going to end up getting here, because, you know, there's a great opportunity for him to surpass these guys in the championship. Yeah. Drew Webb has moved up to 30th. He's still struggling out there in the 99 machine. Obviously with the aero damage that he's got right now. But Dylan Matthews leading. We'll see what she can do. She's going to have to come down the pit lane. She's got 10 seconds on Chase Buck, though. And Benny Moore's going to have to come down as well. And then that'll possibly bring Crampton right into the 32 in these last 2 laps.
Yeah, but honestly, this right now looks like Chase Buck's race to lose. He probably will win this race. Dylan Matthews going to pit. Probably Brown Jr., Benny Moore, and everyone that hasn't pitted will pit this lap.
Oh, boy. Oh, Crampton. Crampton overshot it significantly. That's not good for him. And Benny Moore in the 96 now. I believe this is for the race lead, and Moore still has to come down. From my understanding, at least, he still has to come. There's no way he's going to be able to make it to the end. He's still battling with Chase here, and I'm wondering if Nathan's on the radio being like, hey, now you got to battle with that 32. Get Crampton a little bit closer. Ludovic
Yeah,
Charette. What a run for Ludovic, and he came in 51 behind. You know, he's going to gain significantly as Trinity Ida's out of the race. Samadillo and Troxel battling. I think these guys will finish top 15, the way it's looking like right now. Samadillo going to keep Troxel behind him. Here we go. This is the main focus right here. Chase Buck has done an excellent job here today amidst all the chaos. So has Travis Crampton. Been a couple of issues with these guys here today, but at the end of it all, they have prevailed. Benny Moore, I think, is going to have to come down next time by. There's just no way that 96 is going to be able to make it. Chase Buck a little wide there off the exit. And you know what? It's not over until it's over. We have seen that so many times this season, so many times in the past, and especially here. And you can never count out the exit at turn 11 on the last lap. We've seen 2 last turn passes in this race in the past. Will we see a third one here today? Chase Buck's going to take the white flag here. Next time by in the Lake Effect Ice Cream 400K. What a completely championship-altering race this was. We did not expect what we saw here today. But we're in for a good show to finish this one out. Here we go. White flag in the air for Chase Buck at Watkins Glen. And Crampton is only about a second behind, a 1.4 seconds. It ain't over yet. Crampton might still have a shot.
Yeah, I think Buck, if he runs a clean lap, no mistakes, even if he's a little slow, he will win this race. But honestly, Travis Crampton just going for the fences right now. He has to do it. Just don't crash out. That's my recommendation at the moment. That's probably what Nathan's saying in the radio.
Yeah, and both of these guys, the way they're running right now, in such a great position to have a great opportunity at this title. We've had some things go on. Blaine Key's out of the race because of an accident. About Ludovic Charette here. Such a great run for Ludovic. Going to be a top 10 run for him. Troxel did get around Samadillo right there, but I think that was a smart move out of the 59 machine. And hopefully those guys are able to keep it clean to the end for their sake. And Chase Buck, you know, for Chase Buck to start on the pole, essentially dominate this event, the way it all happened behind him is the big story here. And Chase Buck is also going to have a shot at this title now. So will Travis Crampton, with both Drew Webb and Braden Perez having issues here today. Perez in the 23, still 29th. And now he's 28th, and Drew Webb is 26th. So each point matters, and may not be as bad as what we anticipated for both of those guys. But I do know that these two guys are happy all that chaos happened. Chase Buck in the 32, trying to get his third win of the season. Crampton going for his second. It's the last turn. You never know what's going to happen here. Chase Buck, he's a little wide, but not enough to take him out. And Chase Buck for Pacific Racing wins the Lake Effect Ice Cream 400K. He's going to hold off Travis Crampton. Eric Monaco will get the podium. Then it's Brian Webb, Roberto Crown Jr. in the 21. Ludovic Charette looking here to finish in the 6th position. But I think Echo Evans-Ross is going to barely take that. But 7th for Ludovic. And here comes Samadillo looking to get on Troxel. Will he get the position at the line? I don't think he did. That right there was 13th and 14th. So solid points days for both Samadillo and Troxel. Drew Webb in the 99. He's coming around as well. He's a little bit deep in the field. There's Braden Perez in the 23, a little bit further behind. And the 99 currently listed in the 26th position. We'll see where he is listed across the line. Samadillo will surpass Perez and Webb. And I think he'll be the new points leader going into Daytona. Drew Webb will finish the race after all the chaos that ensued. And he will officially finish in the 24th position. So Samadillo will have a 2-point lead. Actually, sorry, he was 2 points. Never mind, he was 2 points behind Drew Webb. So he'll have an 8-point lead on Drew Webb going into Daytona. But Chase Buck wins it here at Watkins Glen. I'm sure that is a race victory worth celebrating, considering the chaos that ensued here today. Travis Crampton, once again, that's the 2nd straight runner-up. He's the new Nicholas Samadillo here in the Wawa Cup Series. He does have a win, though, this season. I mean, I almost want to say the driver of the day is Ludovic Charette. What a drive. He started 40th and finished 7th, and Ludovic is going to move up and be within championship contention at Daytona. And then Thomas Troxel, Nicholas Amadio, they did their job considering the wreck. And both of those drivers are going to be right up there as well. Braden Perez finished here in the 27th position. He'll lose the points lead because of that, but he'll still also be in contention as well. Man, Igor, the plot thickens each and every week. I don't know what else to say about what we have seen this season, but this race was by far the wildest one that we had all year long as we are going to process the point standings. What do you make of all that you saw here tonight at Watkins Glen?
Well, you said at the start this was going to be a wild card. We just didn't expect to be this wild. Just incredible race for Chase Buck and Travis Crampton. Sad for my team, honestly. Drew Webb with problems again, had Jason Meadow out. The top 5 is going to go crazy now after this race. So, honestly, overall, this was an entertaining race to say the least. Pure craziness, but hey, that's 2023 Wawa Cup Series for you.
Mm-hmm. And I'll show this to you, Igor, and oh boy, look at the points, guys. Look at them. That is intense right there. Nicholas Amadio is going to be the new points leader going into the Valvoline 400 next Friday night. Thomas Troxel is 4 points behind. Braden Perez is only 5 behind. And Drew Webb only lost 2 points off the points lead after all that. He's 8 behind. The big story there, Crampton and Chase Buck there, 17 and 19 behind now. And this is Daytona we are talking about. Throw everything about the ratings out the window. It is an equalizing race, just like this one was essentially. And any of these guys can win next week in the Valvoline 400. I cannot believe it. I mean, Matt Tuck and Justin Zeidel just completely took each other out. We're going to actually review that here for you and talk about it on screen because we didn't get a chance to. But looking at that championship battle, Igor, do you have any freaking clue who's going to win the title now? I mean, there are 8 drivers within a race win worth of points going into Daytona with 2 races left. And honestly, any 8 of them could pull it off, depending on how Daytona goes.
I honestly have no words. I'm not going to say anyone because, honestly, I said Zaydel today. I jinxed him also. And then everything happened, so I will not say a word about this championship battle. I don't want to jinx anyone. It's not on my responsibility anymore.
Well, what a race. That's all I got to say here from the Watkins Glen International. Let's actually see the rest of the finishing results there. I have yet to do that. And obviously the big story is Matt Tuck, who would have taken the points lead if he did not wreck with his teammate Justin Zeidel there. I mean, if that you know, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, Igor. 2016 Spanish Grand Prix, Lewis Hamilton, Nico Rosberg, 2 very strong drivers, 2 of the guys who we thought were going to win this race possibly, taking each other out as teammates. I mean, very similar vibes right there, and wow, it completely, once again, opened the championship wide open. Now, I will say, you know, the points were already close going in, and they just stayed close, but wow, that's just, I mean, just unreal. An unreal race here. We haven't had a race like this in quite a while, and you know, just one accident in turn 1. We've never even really seen an accident there. The many races we have done on this racetrack, we've never really seen anything at turn 1. Let's see what happened. Let's see what happened to bring out, well, it didn't bring out the caution. If we were at any other place at an oval track, that definitely would have brought out the caution, but with this being the road course, we kept on going. Let's see how it all went down between Justin Zeidel and Matt Tuck. Well, here it is in slow motion. Matt Tuck had a run to the inside of Justin Zeidel here. It was lap number 5. And he runs his team. You know, that was Matt Tuck's fault. He ran Zeidel off the track. Zeidel was coming down and kind of hooked him, did not appreciate it. They were racing so hard with each other. Oh, man. You know, that was like David Reagan, David Rudiman 2011 right there. Such a terrible angle. Aliera had nowhere to go. She was going to have a good run in this race. And once again, more issues. LJ Cemento gets popped. Logan Williams had nowhere to go. Brian Webb avoids this. And here we go. Drew Webb in the 99. You see Zidell tumbling right there. I think you mentioned that Troxel was the one that got into him. Sam Adio in the 59, I think he just stops. And obviously, as we saw where he finished, such a smart move, because he's now the points leader because he did not get involved in this accident. The track was essentially blocked here because of Matt Tuck, Aliera, LJ Cemento. And Drew Webb's going to try to avoid these guys, and Troxel had a full head of steam, and right into the 99 right there.
Ooh.
And then they pop there with Echo Evans-Ross. And Sam Adio, he just stopped behind his teammate. What a smart move. And even though he lost a lot of ground because he did that, he gained no damage. He was able to keep the car clean, finished 14th here today, and is able to take the points lead going in to Daytona. Nicholas Samadio, probably the greatest driver ever on the channel, and he showed it right there. What a veteran move, what a smart move out of the 59, and then we got this up here. Seth Cole, they try to drive away from it. Zidell's trying to get away from it here. They get bumped up. Fisher G, Sam Oskin, and Seth Cole in the guardrail. And then further up, 44, Daniel Paulus Jr. He got caught up a little bit more as well. Yeah, I was actually back in here. You know, Fisher G right there. Oh, wow. Chris Reynolds right into the back of Fisher G, who was stuck behind Zidell. Zidell should not have been out there. He should have been out, and then Daniel Paulus Jr. nowhere to go from that. And look at this. Sam Adio is still right behind this. You know, they talk about the strategy at the play tracks in real life, you know, of hanging back to avoid the accidents. That's what Sam Adio did here. And it awarded him the points lead in this race. We'll replay this in real time here and then get back to the finishing results here of the Lake Effect Ice Cream 400K.
So yeah, Zidell and Tuck both trying to battle, both trying to get position. Like you mentioned, Alex, it's Rosberg versus Hamilton, Reagan versus Rudman all over again. Zidell tumbling, and then Drew Webb trying to avoid getting hit by trucks and Perez. Sam Adio slowing down. It was a mess. It's the minimum I can say. And then Zidell trying to get back to the pits for some reason, causing more chaos behind, with Seth Cole spinning. Then just Fisher G being an unfortunate victim, getting hit by Chris Reynolds, spinning to the path of Daniel Paulus Jr. And like you said, in all of that, Sam Adio was just hanging back, getting no damage, and into a top 15 and into a championship lead.
What a huge moment for him there. I mean, it doesn't get any more huge than that for Nicholas Samadio. And my goodness, guys, I mean, like you said, Igor, Hollywood couldn't script it any better. I mean, I cannot believe what we have seen. You know, with the ratings, we're meant to have a couple drivers pull away. That didn't happen. We got 8 guys within a race wins worth of points of each other going into 2 races left to go. I did not anticipate that happening, but my goodness, it is going to be a battle royale for this title because Daytona can go any which way. And then there's Darlington, and Darlington is a track where you got to have good ratings to run well at for that Southern 500. That is a 125-mile race. It's going to be a long one on Labor Day weekend. Wow. We're in store for a treat. If you're a fan of the series, you're in store for a treat. If you're Matt Tuck, you are not happy in the slightest. If you're any of these chasers, any of these guys battling for the championship, you are quite anxious at the moment, no doubt about it. I think if you're Sam Adio, you're probably feeling the best right now, all things considered, because you are going into Daytona, the points leader, and hey, Nicholas Samadio has won at Daytona before. Closest finishes ever on the channel. Will he do it again? Will he finally get his first win of this season? Oh man, so many storylines. It's just so rich and detailed, and my goodness, we're going to have so much fun next week. You know why? Because Rowdy Energy Pro Series on Tuesday night, opening up their season. Then we got ourselves the Sprint Series on Wednesday night, their penultimate race of the season. Featherlight Trailers 250 at Daytona. Turkey Hill Truck Series opens up on Thursday. The Valvoline 400 on Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. probably the most pivotal race of the season at this point. Each one just keeps on getting more intense. And then the finale in the Haas IndyCar Series on Saturday at Pocono. Oh, yes, it's like Indy 250 week all over again. So many great things coming up here on the channel, and I am excited to see how it all goes down. I mean, we've been doing this now for 29 weeks. We started with the Mello Smooth Fest 28 weeks ago, and we are finally getting to the end of the season here in the Wawa Cup Series. And it's anybody's guess on who's going to win this title. It's going to be a lot of fun. Well, Igor, thank you so much for joining me here tonight. What a wild, wild race here at Watkins Glen. Chase Buck wins his 3rd race of the season. Have to see how it all goes down next Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time from Daytona. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. Congratulations to Chase Buck, and on behalf of Igor Barreto, I will see you guys later.